So today we want to discuss what Kage level character who was never anointed Kage could have replaced one of the Kages and done a better job. Now, I really want to hone in on Kage level character here, right? Because I think there were some people who, was anointed Kage who probably isn't Kage level. So when I say Kage level, like what comes to mind instantly for you guys?
Like Killer Bee.
Killer Bee. Okay.
Like
I
Killer
was
Bee.
thinking like Hiruzen, right? I think that's like a good baseline for like Kage level character. Like I feel like he displayed such strength, and like just using Hokages as an example, I feel like after him, it just felt like a drop off. Obviously until Naruto, right? But it just felt like, I don't know, it wasn't the same prestige is what I got from it after Hiruzen. But when I think of Kage level, like that's who comes to mind for me. So like, let's say if Killer Bee were to replace this character, he would be better for this reason, etc. So
Right.
that's what we're gonna discuss today. And I mean, if anyone wants to start, please go for it. Be my guest.
I'll start first. I'll just jump start it. One character who was anointed the title Kage, I'm gonna go with Agara, Hidden Sand, who, some may argue may not be Kage level, maybe Kage level. Regardless, he was anointed a Kage. And I think if I had to swap him with a character who I believe to be Kage level, would probably be Orochimaru, right? Because Orochimaru was the one that essentially took out his father. And I think it could have been a situation where Orochimaru could have really played the background probably a bit better instead of kind of trying to take on Hiruzen and going down that pathway and really just losing his arms and losing his chance of immortality to an extent. Whereas what he could have built behind the scenes in the Hidden Sand, I think he could have kind of really posed a major threat to the Leaf, right? And I'm just saying for the sake of the plot, I felt like he could have really, with his experimentation, with the Hidden Sand, and we may not have really seen Gara we could have probably seen Gara not necessarily turn heel, but probably remained more of a threat than he was kind of hero, and I feel like that would have really thrown more of a dynamic into the story if Orochimaru was really a Kage for the Hidden Sand, right? So that's the Kazekage, for instance. So that's my choice.
Yeah,
That's what I felt.
That's good.
that's pretty interesting. And I kind of wanted to ask you a question because, funny enough, I thought about Orochimaru being Kage as well, but I was thinking Hokage, right? But then I backed off of it. And I'm going to ask you this as far as plot goes, and if it applies the same. If Orochimaru, let's say he's the Kazekage, right? He's not there to lure Sasuke with the lure of, oh, I'm going to give you this immense strength. You're finally going to catch up to Itachi. And then Sasuke never leaves the village. Do you think Naruto ever gets pushed to that level that he goes to when he's just on, like, on this mission to retrieve Sasuke? Like, that was my hesitation of saying, because I think in Orochimaru, just a lot of his developments and advancements that he could have added to the Hidden Leaf. But I'm just like, yo, if Sasuke never leaves, does Naruto have the urge to get to that next level? You know what I mean? So that's just like my question. In that
Yeah,
regard.
I would say definitely, because once Sasuke leaves and he loses to Sasuke, he goes on that training arc with Jiraiya, right? And of course, he's probably not on par in terms of strength compared to Sasuke. Within that time skip, he still is pushed to become stronger. But I still think, if Orochimaru becomes, after taking out Gaara's father and then becomes a Kazekage, he already at that point already gave Sasuke the curse mark. So I think Sasuke will ultimately still, pursue him. He just will end up going to the Hidden Sand, right? And then now the Hidden Sand has more arsenal or more weaponry on their side to kind of wage war against the Leaf, in a way. So, but to answer your question, no, Naruto probably wouldn't have been as motivated,
Yeah, no, that's a good one. Like I said, because I was only imagining Orochimaru for the Hidden Leaf. I didn't even think about his ties to, the sand. That's a good one. Like I said, my only hesitation was I'm just like, oh, Naruto just gonna be buddy. He's not gonna have that drive. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way I didn't pick it. But they call you. Luca, you want to go?
Oh no. Yeah, I mean, I could go if Mo is done. I was gonna say, I would swap out Minato with Fugaku.
I think this is the most popular one. Yeah.
Yeah, just because like it makes the most sense, right? It's like, okay,
It's funny because I told Rue about that one too.
Nah, because it's like I was just thinking about it because I was really gonna go with Jiraiya over Tsunade, but then I'm thinking about it. I'm like, yo, Fugaku just like like granted he was a radical in a sense, but his internal conflict was that he didn't want to do any of the radical things he was planning on doing just because the mistreatment from the leaf. But his overall mission was to protect not only the Uchiha clan but the whole Leaf village.
Yeah.
And it just so happens that the politics and the discrepancies and everything, the prejudice of the clan just kind of effed them over. But I think even in terms of like Minato stealing the Nine Tails and ultimately dying, I think he didn't have to be Hokage to do that. Like, he could have just been a high level ninja who, and then Fugaku was older too. He was older. He was probably the same par. I'm not gonna argue if he was better or not. That's irrelevant. But like, and he had the leadership qualities. He had a whole clan behind him, and he knew everybody. He was older, wiser. I just think that he would have done a better job with protecting the Leaf Village. And Minato could have still probably passed away, gave him an honorable mention of saying, but still in the Nine Tails and everything. But if Fugaku was there, I don't think there's no need for Tsunade at all.
I would definitely say I do agree. A lot of the events probably could have been prevented because,
let's
say Obito brings out the Nine Tails. Fugaku had the prowess to reverse that situation, which has already been kind of, the data books, and they was trying to use Fugaku to take over the Nine Tails in general, right? So
exactly.
But go.
So is there any way though, if Fugaku became Hokage, that things could have got out of control? Because there was already friction and tension with the Uchihas and the rest, right? But let's say Fugaku becomes anointed, right? Yes, you're gonna have people who follow behind him, but are the rest of them still gonna be empowered enough to maybe become like Jaegerists? You know what I'm saying?
I think his main issue would be with Danzo. I feel like Danzo would be the one who has the most issue with him in power. Being that Danzo is in charge of the Anbu, I'd feel like he'd have motive to kind of sabotage Fugaku. I think if there's no sabotaging Fugaku, I don't think, because he says it and he shows it too. He doesn't want to do any of the radical shit he's doing. Like, he don't want to do that. He don't want to plan a coup, take over. He don't want to do that. All he really want is the respect from the other clan members in the Hidden Leaf. That's all he wants. And I feel like if he's given the title of fourth Hokage, that's already you already kind of stamped it, man. It's like, yo, you have the respect. Now it's just a matter of keeping his clan. And I don't think Fugaku would do anything. I think the certain members of his clan would kind of get out of control and think they have more leeway. You know how just people just feel kind of entitled once they get a certain amount of power, and it's like, okay, Fugaku's in power now, I can kind of do whatever I want because I've been discriminating against us for forever. So now I can kind of. So Fugaku's main thing would kind of just be keeping his Uchiha clan in line.
Okay. I mean, yeah, it's definitely interesting though. I feel like that's the most popular one though, but I definitely think it's a good idea. I don't know how it would turn out, but it's interesting enough to think of. I think from my standpoint, this feels like a little bit of a cop out for me, but I think I will go Might Guy. But now I'm torn between should he have been Hokage instead of Tsunade or Kakashi, right? Because he was there the whole time. So maybe Tsunade can come back to the village, but maybe not as Hokage. But I'm gonna go ahead and, for sake of argument, I'm gonna say instead of Tsunade, right? Reason being, I think Might Guy is good at getting the most out of the least. And I think a lot of the fodder in the Hidden Leaf needed someone to push them to be better for the entire village to be more protected, better against invasion and things of that sort, right? Now, I'm not saying, I'm not one of those people, and I'm just disregard Might Guy here. The whole pain thing wouldn't have happened if Might Guy was there. But I'm just saying, just preventing people from coming to the Leaf. I think if Might Guy, his influence on some of the weaker people in the village, I think it would have helped them to be better soldiers. They'd have had better defense, and I think the Leaf altogether would have been more well-rounded. Now, my only hesitation is people who already have natural talent. Would he be able to progress them, i.e., Neji, right? But like I said, those weak soldiers, I think he could have really molded them into good defense. And I think the Hidden Leaf, strength in numbers, would have been more formidable.
Gotcha. I got a question for you too. Do you think, and it's going back to kind of the popular thing, if Mike Guy was there, would Pain have went on that rampage? Do you think Mike Guy's influence or who he was as a leader, would he have been able to do a better job than Tsunade when Pain assaulted the Hidden Leaf?
Now, his influence. So here's the thing. So for me, I kind of lean towards yes, only because of this reason, right? Now, Tsunade was critical, and not her influence, but like her medical ninjutsu was critical.
Yes.
But in terms of influence, I think, like my guy seems goofy, but he's well respected by everyone because I think everyone really knows how busy he gets. So even though he runs around, acts goofy, like people are always speaking his praise, right? So in terms of influence, I think he would have had no issue there. Now, like in terms of her medical ninjutsu, like I said, I do think it still would have been worth it to recruit her to the village, especially after what we seen happen post Orochimaru. But she didn't necessarily have to be Hokage just to be recruited back. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah, definitely 100% agree. I just think Guy would need an advisor. Like if
Guy advisor.
Kakashi as an advisor, I think that'd be perfect.
Yeah.
All right, Smoke. What you got?
My choice, I'm going with Hashirama, actually, and I'm going to swap him out with Madara Uchiha. I think when they first built the village, that Madara should have been the Hokage and Hashirama should have been the advisor. I don't think Hashirama should have been Hokage with Tobirama as the advisor. It's too much. That was too much of Senju putting their foot down and showing.
Yeah, they hold the House and the Senate.
Yeah, so it's like to show that there was unity within the Leaf. It would have been better for Madara to be the Hokage and Hashirama to be his advisor, because you still have two powerhouses there now. And then that, in turn, like a lot of things in the story change off of that. I couldn't really tell you exactly what, but what I could tell you is that the Uchiha clan probably don't get made into the police force. There's probably going to be way more unity. Madara doesn't defect from the village and become the first rogue ninja in history. He probably doesn't go down and get super duped by Zetsu when he changes the stone tablet. Like, he might get some kind of ideology, but I think he brings it up to Hashirama eventually instead of keeping it in secret the whole time. So like, I think there's a whole different change of events, and like anything, like the whole chain of events would change down the line. Like, I don't think a lot of things happen. I think Madara becomes first Uchiha. Fugaku might end up be the one to become the fourth Hokage, So it's like, I would, that's my swap. I would do, because I think Madara had probably the best ideology, because even when he was thinking about it, after he went to the stone tablets, he wanted to defect from the villages, like in total. Like, he wanted to not build villages no more. Like, he didn't want to have that. He started to attack the sand. That's when he pulled up on Anoki and Mu, and that's when he pulls up on I forget who else. I have it pulled up right here, but it's some like small text. I'm not trying to really look at it. But like, he pulls up on the other villages to stop it, because he's like, this is gonna end up being a cycle of hatred and war and futility and whatever. Like, his idea of peace was to have control over everything, not to like just let everything kind of be freedom in a sense.
Yeah, I would say this though, for sure, and to your defense too, I definitely think Madara wouldn't have allowed the other villages to have all these tailed beasts too, right? Which ends up causing all these different wars and espionage and all this. I think Madara's approach, rule with an iron fist, but I think long term it would have been effective. But people generally like to, even for their own good, they want to for the sake of people can have peace
Mm-hmm.
forever. And for some reason, people want to rebel against that to have conflict.
Yeah, there's always
So it's
some.
like there's no
always
winning when it
some
comes to human beings. So
Yeah.
I actually like that pick. I'm not gonna lie, that's swap.
I do have a question. So what would happen? I feel like what would happen with Tobirama then? Because Tobirama hated the Uchiha.
Yeah, to go on the line.
So it's like, would
it-
Tobirama be the one to defect instead of Madara?
Maybe that might be what happens. I think it plays out differently then. I think the Senju become the quote unquote bad guys of the village. Like
So it's like
bad
it's still a
clan.
lose-lose
Like,
kind of.
yeah, it would be, I guess, yeah, because like
I'd
he
rather
really
the
did
Senju
feel some
defect
type of
than the
way.
Uchiha. Because we see what the Uchihas, boy, when the Uchihas be
But
defected,
we haven't really
boy.
gotten a chance to see what the Senju can do. What if Hashirama was bad? Then who stops him?
But that's
Right.
Hashirama. Hashirama, you can tell Hashirama's 1-on-1. We seen what these Uchihas, what they are capable of. We seen
And they
Toby,
were
Obito, Sasuke, Itachi. Like these Uchihas are more of a threat than the actual Senjus. Like as we can
But
probably
then
see
when
historically.
the
But
Senju
because we didn't get to see them though.
But name one Senju that's really a threat. This is my point. Regardless of like the way, what I'm saying is the way the story's written. Even if we
So,
don't
like,
see,
not
why
the
are we
Senju.
hearing consistently more about Uchihas even after Madara's death is what I'm saying.
No,
like
but
Senjus could have been into the story, but the reason why they're not written that way is clearly because Uchihas was written to be overpowered. You know what I mean? So I think the plot just allows the Uchiha to be raised on a higher bar because of their visual prowess. You know what I mean? They're just more of a threat just because how they're written. You don't really get that from Senju. Yeah, they're not written, but they're written like that for a reason.
Yeah, I mean, I see that, but I don't want to forget my question. Though my question was, if you think it needed to be broken up, why couldn't Hashirama still just be Hokage and Madara be his advisor? That way, I mean, Hashirama doesn't strike me as someone who's not going to listen to Madara's voice. You know, I don't think he's just going to, little bro him. I think he would take his consideration.
True.
That's true. I don't recall if Madara even got offered the position at all, or if he's like turned it down. So like I couldn't even tell you that. That's good though, because like he could have been. It could have been the unity right there with Madara as the advisor and Hashirama is still the face as the Hokage.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I still like my swap because I feel like you have because Hashirama's still like when you think about it when they battle. Hashirama's still like tenfold stronger than him. Madara had to get the 9 tails and all of that to even be on kind of on par with him to fight. So it's like I think it would have been better still with Madara as the Hokage, and you still have like knowing the advisor is still someone that can go and he was just picking up the tailed beasts like they were pets and just having them in storage and then selling them off. Like he's I don't know. It would have been better. I feel like it would have been better having the powerhouse not be the face. You know, like the face be somebody else.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, I think I see a trend here. I think you guys just think things would have been better if the Uchiha was in power. That's kind of what it seems like to me. Even though I feel like the story told us otherwise, but that's what it seems like to me.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. Ru was like, yo, I'm with Togurama here. We can't have Uchiha's in power because they
will surely go crazy. But it's neither here nor there.
Oh man.
But like I said, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of other characters out there. There's some that we're missing. Make sure you guys jump in the comment section. Tell us who would have been a great replacement. Okay, any village. Make sure you like. Make sure you subscribe.